Welcome to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, two big stories to keep an eye on coming up. Will Disney buy the NFL network? And is DIRECTV still for sale? We'll break down what's happening there. A potential new buyer has popped up for Paramount, the deal that just won't seem to happen. And over half of the top 10 most popular networks in 2023 are free with an antenna. One more reason why maybe you should try an antenna. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First though, if you're new here, you can find a link to each story and these and a lot more in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each story there. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know that you enjoy what we do here. So YouTube recommends our videos to more people. Doing one or both does just that. All right, let's dive into it. Now, we're coming up about halfway mark of 2024, and we broke down two of the biggest stories you should keep an eye on in the second half of 2024 that have been previously reported. Now, number one, Disney is reportedly in talks with the NFL to take over the NFL network and Red Zone and the NFL streaming services. Keep a close eye on this. This could result in the NFL getting partial ownership of ESPN and then ESPN taking over the production of the NFL network and similar channels. This one sounds like it's a very close to being done deal, but there's a lot of parts to happen here. I'm sure there'll be regulatory review of this deal, but keep a close eye on it. Also, late last year, we learned AT&T was shopping around DIRECTV. Is DIRECTV still for sale? From my understanding, AT&T is still interested if they find the right buyer. Here's the thing for AT&T. They're not really putting money into DIRECTV right now. They're just reaping any profits that come off of it. And any potential buyer would need to be, in their mind, more profitable than their current deal. They spun DIRECTV off into an independent company. AT&T still owns about 70% of it, and the other is in an investment firm. Now, with this deal, they may be open to selling additional sections of DIRECTV or completely getting bought out and instead just taking a big payout. For now, though, it's kind of a question of will somebody show up that's willing to pay that much money to make it worth it? I don't think Dish is going to be interested in it at this moment for the price point. They're looking for investors to help them finish their 5G wireless service instead of investing more in television, at least not in, let me rephrase it, at least not investing in buying DIRECTV. Now, if the deal ever turns out to be good, I'm sure Dish will jump on it, but it'd have to be a very good deal. So question, who would you want to buy DIRECTV? Who do you think is most likely? Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, there appears to be a new potential buyer for Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has been, or Paramount Plus, Paramount period, has been for sale for some time. Now with this, we've seen a lot of potential buyers come and go, including Warner Brothers Discovery even looking at a potential merger deal that eventually they walked away from. Now Paramount and Skydance have been reportedly very close to a deal in the final stages of it, but not quite able to close the deal yet. Now a new potential buyer has popped up looking to buy the company that owns the majority control of Paramount. Now, with this, the Redstone family controls about 70% of Paramount's voting stocks. When you own over 70% of the voting stocks, you own basically the company because you can do pretty much what you want with it within reason. That's through their National Amusements Park or National Amusements Company. Now, with this, they are being offered $2 billion from an investor to buy that company to gain a majority control of Paramount. Now, Redstone family so far has turned away other similar offers to be bought out like this, though this deal may have some different terms in it that may make it attractive. In short here, Paramount is far from a done deal on merging with Skydance or not merging or this or that happening. Very interesting to see what finally happens with Paramount. Hopefully by the time this gets posted tomorrow morning, because I record these the night before, something hasn't totally broken and changed the story. But according to the Wall Street Journal, there's another potential buyer. If you want to learn more, link in the show notes. All right, if you are not using an antenna with your TV, you may want to reconsider that. According to a report from Variety, of the top 10 most watched primetime TV networks, so this is looking at primetime viewership, 6 of them are free with an antenna. NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, Univision, ION. I'm actually kind of surprised to see ION television was the 9th most watched television network. When you jump into some of the additional ones, Telemundo, MeTV, The CW, Bounce, Cozy, Start, and Laugh all round out the top one, part of the top 100, and give you free television there. Now, I live in an area where I get over 50 free channels with an antenna. Not that long ago, I lived in an area where an antenna wasn't that great. This one is a lot nicer. But check it out, link in the show notes if you want to take advantage of this. But I would highly recommend you consider an antenna if you have not already. Pluto TV is now the new streaming home for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The classic children's show is now streaming for free on Pluto TV. You can check this out. It's a 24/7 channel of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I believe on-demand content also. They also launched the Black Collective, a special pop-up channel with a bunch of content there of Black voices and Black Music Month and more. It is part of the celebration for Black Music Month. Link in the show notes if you want to learn more about these two channels. It's great to see Mr. Rogers and other classic shows becoming free with ads for another generation of youth to check out. All right, the Zapper box. Now, this is an ATSC 3.0 next-gen tuner, and DVR is rolling out some new features to make its DVR better. Now, there's not a lot of tuners on the market for ATSC 3.0, and this is probably one of the better options for DVR, right alongside things like the HD Home Run and others. And with this, they've rolled out some new features to include, if you subscribe to their data, to record only new episodes and not record duplicates, for example. You'd be able to filter it to better prevent multiple re-airings of the same show being DVR'd, helping you also not fill up your DVR storage with a bunch of repeats. Other ones that are free without needing to pay for a subscription, and that data allows them to look at what's on the TV and use the data to make sure they're not re-recording something. But you can also get the ability to edit scheduled recordings from the grid guide or search menu, delete search history, and support for encrypted broadband channels. There's already one of those live in Vegas. So a lot of new features coming to the Zapper box. If you want to learn more about them, link in the show notes. All right, we're into summer in our next story. Have you been thinking that maybe you're not watching as much television? YouTube TV has a way to pause your subscription for the summer, and we have a full step-by-step guide on how to do that in the show notes and in the first pinned comment down below. If you're interested in putting your YouTube TV account on pause for the summer, it's a great time to do that. Great thing about cord cutting is you can do stuff like that. With cable, you couldn't. So check it out. It's also being reported, according to The Verge, that on our next story, that Netflix is working on a updated app for smart TVs with a new look and a clean, fresh user interface. Now, exact release dates and support for this has not been announced, but Netflix is working reportedly on updating its app. Don't be surprised if you open Netflix soon and see a whole new user interface. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's something in particular you're looking for with that. Also, lastly, before we get into the questions of the day, Frontier customers, if you use Frontier for internet, your data may have been exposed. According to a report, hackers may have obtained Social Security and other vital information about you from a data leak there. Now, we have a bunch of suggested actions that you can do to help protect yourself. If you want to find those, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. But if you're a Frontier customer, you should be getting a notification soon if you've been impacted by this. All right, let's dive into the questions of the day. Today's question is about the story we had yesterday about the CW bringing free ad-supported channels, movies, and television shows available in its mobile app and smart app, or app for smart TVs and the like. The question is, with the CW app becoming more on-demand and having live channels, do you see a day where they actually shut down the over-the-air CW network? Honestly, no. So over-the-air televisions are some of the most profitable TV networks right now. The CW has been working very hard to be honest, to be turned into a sports network. Sports is one of the most profitable things on television because people watch it typically more likely to be live, and that means they're more likely to sit through the ads and see ads and get higher ad revenue. That's why we see things like Live Golf, the Pac-2, I guess we'll call it, the Pac-12 technically, but the Washington and Oregon games, Oregon State games and Washington State. I apologize to Washington and Oregon. It's Oregon State and Washington State going to the CW this fall for their football games, and other sporting events coming to the CW. Why is that happening? Well, Nexstar bought a majority control of it. They're using this to make the network profitable. From my understanding, the CW network has never been profitable, and now they're working to make it profitable by transitioning it to a sports network. We saw this with True TV also. They're transitioning that into a sports network that allows them to get more eyeballs, and then more importantly, eyeballs that watch them live, which will help them stand out. I do think a lot of networks are poised to shut down in the next few years. The CW is not at the top of my list, though maybe something weird happens and it does go under. As long as they continue to develop it into a sports network, I think that will help them stand out and be successful. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have a question for me, leave me a comment. Start with a question for Luke in the comments so I know it's something you want me to answer here in the video. Sometimes I answer them in the comments, sometimes I ask them here. If I don't answer your question, please re-ask it, and I'll do my best to answer it. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you again tomorrow.